Welcome into Licking County Settlers Baseball. Hello, everybody. This is Ben Murray for game number 2 of this 2018 campaign for the Licking County Settlers. Today, they will be facing off against the Galion Graders. The Graders come in. This is going to be their first game of the season. Licking County, of course, lost last night to the Southern Ohio Copperheads, despite out-hitting the Copperheads 8-6. Settlers did leave 8 runners on base and had 3 errors in the field, so that did prove costly later on, dropping that decision 7-2. On the mound today for the Licking County Settlers is going to be Chris Sparks. Sparks, the junior from Kirksville, Ohio. He goes to Otterbein University, so right down the road from us this season. 18 1/3 innings. He was 0-1, ERA just over 7, gave up 20 hits, 15 walks, and 25 strikeouts. Defensive alignment going around the horn. We'll start at first base. It's going to be Dill, Sobozic, Pena, and Pimentel. And outfield going left to right, Ott, Margroff, and Alice. It's going to be Chad Harpin making his first start behind the plate for the Licking County Settlers. Graders are going to counter with their lineup. It's going to be Andrew Stone leading off. Christopher Jordan batting in the second hole. He's also playing shortstop. Batting third will be Michael Rodriguez. He's going to be playing second base. Cleaning up for the Graders will be Jacob Reimold, who's playing third base. The designated hitter will be in the 6th spot. That's going to be Juan De La Cruz, hitting in the number 7 spot. Damon Massey, also behind the plate. And in the 8th spot, playing first base, will be Vince Donato. And batting number 9 is going to be Seamus Kinali. He will be also playing center field. As you see, the fielders getting ready. Throwdown has been made, and we are ready for action just moments away from your first pitch today here from Don Edwards Park in Newark, Ohio for game number 2 of the Great Lakes Collegiate Summer League here in Licking County. Stepping into the batter's box is going to be Andrew Stone leading off the way for the Graders. He's from Cross Lanes, West Virginia, as Sparks gets ready. And first pitch underway, 7:08 start time officially here from Don Edwards Stadium. Stone goes to West Virginia State University as he watches a ball go by. Second pitch taken for a strike, and even count at 1 ball and 1 strike apiece. Stone at West Virginia State hitting .315 with a .391 on base percentage as the 1-1 underway. Misses high with the fastball. Just count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. During that sophomore year campaign, Stone mashing out 52 hits, 23 of those going for extra bases. 2-1 chop down the third base line. That'll be foul, says the umpires. It's fielded by Pimentel as he tosses the ball back to his starting pitcher, Sparks. 2-2 the count here, the leadoff hitter. Yesterday we saw a good start from Johnny Putnam. He set down the Copperheads in order in the first inning board. After that, the Copperheads getting a lot of runners on base and able to push them across despite getting out hit by the Settlers. 2-2 from Sparks. Misses inside. That's going to move the count to full. Andrew Stone works the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sparks looks in the windup and delivers to 3-2. Flared out to shortstop. That's Eddie Pena, and he'll make the easy play for out number 1. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Christopher Jordan. Jordan, Evans, West Virginia native. A lot of West Virginia products on this Graders team today. He also goes to West Virginia State with his teammate Andrew Stone. You look up and down this Graders lineup, and actually a lot of West Virginia either natives. As the first pitch flared into shallow center. Pena gives chase. Margroff coming in. He can't make the play. That ball is going to fall in between them. First base hit of the day for the Graders. That's Christopher Jordan as he bloops that ball into shallow center. Just enough past Pena, but not close enough to Margroff where he can make the running catch coming in. Third hitter of the day for the Graders, Michael Rodriguez, the Rio Grande, Ohio native. He goes to the University of Rio Grande. He steps in with one runner aboard and Jordan at first base. Rodriguez, 286 hitter, 368 on base percentage. So he takes 2 consecutive balls, moving the count to 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here, no score yet. Top of the first inning. Don Edwards Stadium as the Settlers look to bounce back from that loss in their opening night game last night. Ball shot down the left field line. That's going to stay fair as Jordan rounding second. He's going to be waved in by his third base coach as Rodriguez makes the throw coming in to the plate. Not in time, and Jordan scores all the way from first base on the RBI double by Rodriguez. And just like that, the Graders are on the board. They lead 1-0. Let's go bring up the cleanup hitter, Jacob Reimold. Reimold, the Greenville, Pennsylvania native. He also attends college in West Virginia. He goes to West Virginia University Tech. 304 there this year. He has another runner in scoring position. That ball gets past Harper. It's going to get all the way to the backstop. And Rodriguez is going to move in to third base. He now stands 90 feet away, scoring the second run of the day for the Graders. They lead 1-0 on the RBI double by Michael Rodriguez. Reimold, 51 hits this season for the Golden Bears. 411 on base percentages. He takes low and outside. Ball number 2, that's going to move the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Ball gets bounces out of the glove of Harper. It's going to roll to the backstop, and there's run number 2 for the Graders as Michael Rodriguez scores to make it 2-0 Graders here early on in the top of the first. So Settlers have yet to come to the plate, and they have already conceded 2 runs here in the top of the first. There is only 1 out. It's a 3-0 count right now to Jacob Reimold. Reimold only drew 15 walks this season. Now ahead in the count 3-0. Pitch misses high and outside. That's ball number 4. First walk of the day for Sparks, and it'll be the 3rd consecutive runner aboard here for the Graders. We're going to get a mound visit. Michael Sandman heading out to the mound early on, probably earlier than he would have liked. So we are on the top of the first inning. 2-0 Galion. Sparks, as we said, Otterbein University products, so just down the road from here. Not a lot of action. He only threw 18 1/3 this year. Sometimes you come into collegiate summer league, haven't played in a while. I know a lot of the guys haven't played in at least a month. There's a few guys that redshirted maybe this year, so they haven't seen game action as that ball fouled off for strike number 1. So whatever Coach Sandman said worked. Sparks throws a strike. The 5th hitter, that's Juan De La Cruz, the New York native. He goes to Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Hit 354 this season with the Eagles. He swings and misses for strike number 2. So after the mound visit, Sparks throws 2 consecutive strikes. So he looks to bounce back from the 2 runs already given up here in the top of the first. Oklahoma Wesleyan had an outstanding season, went 53-8. As that ball chopped down the line, past the diving first baseman Dill into right field, and that's another base hit. That's the 3rd base hit of this inning. And the Graders with 2 runners aboard here with still only 1 out. That'll bring up Todd Sikowski, the Duquesne, Pennsylvania native. So Alderson Broadus University. .234 this year with the Battlers, a .306 on base percentage. He stands in from that right-handed batter's box. With 2 runners aboard and only 1 out. First pitch from Sparks, low and in the dirt for ball number 1. Raiders going with the all-gray uniforms. Gray tops, gray bottoms, blue socks, blue numbers, and a blue logo in the upper left-hand corner on their chest. Second pitch misses outside for ball number 2. So after getting ahead of the last hitter, no balls and 2 strikes. 2 consecutive balls from Sparks. A little bit of mound visit from Harper, trying to calm his pitcher down after a laboring first inning that still isn't over yet. Settlers today going with their blue tops, gray bottoms, red hats with a blue bill with that Settlers logo prominently on the front. The 2-0 from Sparks. Chop down to first base. That's Dill. He's going to go to second for 1. Back over to first. Dropped by Pena on the transfer. They're still going to get 1 at second base, but runners at the corners now with 2 away. So mark that up as 1-6 put out for De La Cruz and give Sikowski a fielder's choice. So that's going to bring up the 7-hitter, Damon Massey, another West Virginia native. He's from Gallagher, West Virginia. Also goes to West Virginia State. We've already seen 3 Yellow Jackets here as the runner goes fake down from Harper as Sikowski's going to walk in with a stolen base. Runners now at second and third. That pitch was called a strike. So Sparks up in the count. No balls and 1 strike here. 2 outs. Raiders lead 2-0 here early on. Still top of the first as he gets a little crossed up with the sign. Sparks asking Harper to go over them one more time as he tries to get out of this jam and minimize the damage. He's got 2 runners aboard, 1 at second and 1 at third base. Ball fouled back and off to the right side. It's Massey as he now finds himself in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Massey this season hit .333 with the Yellow Jackets with an on-base percentage of .400. The 0-2. Swung on, chopped down the third base line, but it stayed foul. The third base coach flips it to the umpire, and we'll do it once again. Rain in the forecast tonight. This game was almost delayed. They decided to keep it at the normal start time. We may see some showers here fairly soon, so stay updated with us for that as we'll try to play this one as much as we can and then see what the weather looks like. The 0-2 from Sparks misses low and away for ball number 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Raiders lead 2-0 at the top of the first inning. Sparks looking for his first strikeout to get out of the jam. The 1-2 misses high. He's going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So great job from Damon Massey to even this one. 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Raiders lead 2-0. Sparks comes set, fires, strike 3, looking, got him. And Sparks gets out of the jam, concedes 2 runs on 4 hits. Settlers will come to bat here at the bottom of the first inning. Back live here in Don Edwards Park, Licking County. Trails 2-0 to the Galion Graders. As Galion put up 2 runs in that top of the first inning. Galion going to go with Eli Crawl on the mound to start the game. The Mount Orab, Ohio native. He's going to transfer to Lee University here in the fall. Started out at Eastern Kentucky, but didn't see any action. He's a 2-time first-team All-Southern Buckeye Conference recipient. It was a perfect game. 2016 underclassman All-American honorable mention. So, solid pitcher on the mound for the Graders. Defensive alignment for the Graders is going to be outfield going left to right. Sikowski, Canale, and Stone going around the infield first to third. It'll be Donato, Rodriguez, Jordan, Reimold. You have Massey behind the plate catching Crawl. Settlers were up counter with their lineup. It'll be Margroff leading off. Pena batting in the 2 hole. It'll be Dylan Ott, 2 hits last night. In the 3 spot, Miguel Pimentel, obviously that big home run, the towering shot, straightaway center, will be batting cleanup. Roberts will be in the 5 hole. Batting 6 is going to be Dill. Batting 7th will be Ellis, Harper, and Sobozic to round out the Settler offensive attack. Jacob Margroff going to step in for his first at-bat this ball game. Margroff, the Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio native, goes to Butler University. 260 with the Bulldogs. He stands in for the first pitch as he tries to lay down a bunt, a beautiful bunt. Catcher Massey says he has it, throws to first base. Safe, says the first base umpire. And Margroff sees one pitch, lays it perfectly down that third base line, and he's aboard to lead off this first inning. That'll bring up Eddie Pena, California native, goes to Fresno State. Had a great game at shortstop last night. He's made a couple highlight reel plays. Did not have any hits, however. Did go 0 for 4 last night, so he tries to get the offensive attack going here today. Pitch from Crawl, taken for a strike. Pena down 0-1. Margroff over at first base. He had a stolen base last night, so always a threat to run. Talk about him. About a 4.36 40. Incredible speed. The second pitch taken for a strike as well. So Pena finds himself down a hole early on. No balls and 2 strikes. Margroff over at first as Crawl tries to work around that leadoff bunt single. Margroff had a great bunt last night as well. Started a rally in the second inning, but couldn't get anybody home. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Margroff goes. He'll slide into second safely, but not before the strikeout swinging from Pena, but that'll move Margroff 90 feet closer to scoring with the stolen base. That'll bring up the left fielder, Dylan Ott. Dylan, the Helensville, Wisconsin native, goes to University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh. 2 hits last night. A great diving catch out there in left field that probably saved a couple more runs. As Dylan steps into that right-handed batter's box, slightly open stance. The pitch from Crawl. Catches the outside corner for strike number 1. Margroff stands over on second base. Settlers looking to score a little bit earlier than they did yesterday. Didn't score their first run until the bottom of the 8th on that 2-run home run from Miguel Pimentel, which proved to be the only runs they would score last night, despite out-hitting the Copperheads 8-6. The 0-1 from Crawl. Fouled down the right field line as he gets ahead on yet another Settler hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. Crawl's thrown 5 pitches, all of them strikes thus far. Made the bunt single from Margroff. 3-pitch strikeout of Pena, and now sits ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Dylan Ott. 0-2. This is blown away for ball number 1. First pitch that missed the strike zone today for the right-handed hurler, Eastern Kentucky. Crawl gets his signs, checks the runner at second, comes set, and delivers the 1-2. Fouled off right into the Grader dugout. If they were paying attention down there, as one of the coaches to get out of the way a little bit. There is a little bit of a fence in there, but it's snuck through the opening and into the greater dugout. So we'll do the 1-2 one more time. So Krall takes a breath, looks in. Margraf stands on second base. Raiders lead 2-0 here in this bottom of the first inning. Dylan Ott stands up to the plate. The pitch. Shot down the right field line, but that's going to go foul. It's Dylan Ott just trying to battle and stay alive here. His first at bat. Ott last night, 2 for 3. One of the better nights for the Settlers. Had a single, a double, and he walked. Did score one of those 2 runs in the ballgame. The 1-2. Misses high and outside, gets away from the catcher, Massey, and Margraf's going to trot into third. He now stands 90 feet away from scoring. Catcher Massey goes out and talks to his pitcher, Krall, after throwing that one a little high and outside. Maybe got some signs mixed up, just trying to calm his pitcher down. They got a 2-0 lead here right now, so don't have to do too much. Just settle in, find that strike zone, and try to get these Settler hitters out. One of the best hitters on his Titans team, also one of the best hitters in the New York Collegiate League last season. He hit .388 with the Cortland Crush. Trying to do it here in the Great Lakes as he takes a close pitch just below the knees for ball number 3. So Ott, after being behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, now works it full after a couple of foul balls as he tries to win this battle against starting pitcher Eli Krall. The 3-2. Strike 3, says the umpire. Ott did not agree with that one as he thought that was a little outside. Great breaking ball from Krall. He gets back-to-back strikeouts after conceding that leadoff single. Next up is going to be the cleanup hitter, third baseman Miguel Pimentel. Pimentel had that big home run last night. Hit it right over the 380 sign in straight away center. Just missed the American flag. The American flag is the furthest flag on the left. There's 3 flags out there. It's first pitch from Krall. Misses. Going in the dirt for ball number 1. Margraf stands over on third base. He led off this inning with a bunt single, stole second, and then advanced on a wild pitch to third, and that is where he stands right now. The 1-0 from Krall. Taken right down the middle for strike number 1. Settlers trying to get on the scoreboard earlier than they did last night. Left 8 runners on base. Did not score until the bottom of the 8th inning on a 2-run home run from Pimentel. 2-run home run right now would tie this ball game up in the first inning as the Raiders scored 2 in their top half. The 1-1 swing and a miss from Pimentel as he goes down the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That home run was one of 2 hits that Pimentel had. He also had a double. Only 2 for 4 last night. The 1-2 misses outside. He count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both Ott and Pimentel with 2 hits last night. Sam Wilson also added on 2 hits, as well as Jacob Margraf. So a few guys with 2 hits. Like we said, Settlers, no shortage of hits, had 8 of them. Just couldn't push anybody across. The 2-2 taken for a ball. That was about where Dylan Ott took his strike 3 call, and that's going to move the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Margraf stands 90 feet away. Settlers trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. The 3-2 misses just barely outside as Pimentel draws a walk. That's going to put the runners at the corners for the first baseman Garrett Roberts, Utica, Ohio native. Spent his last season at Cuyahoga Community College. He'll be transferring to Ashland here upcoming in the fall. Roberts went 0 for 4 last night. A strikeout, a line out, ground out, and a pop out. Takens that first pitch for a strike. So Roberts really covering all his bases in ways to get out last night, so hopefully that means hits tonight as he stands in that right-handed batter's box. Is a good check on the runner. Pimentel at first base. As Roberts has runners at the corners here. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Settlers trail 2-0. Roberts probably one of the only hitters you'll see with no batting gloves. The 0-1 taken for a strike as Roberts goes down. No balls and 2 strikes. Roberts DHing tonight. He played first base last night. And a nice scoop on a great play by Eddie Pena. Pena in the hole, going towards third base, makes a nice off-balance throw. Great scoop by Roberts. This is the 0-2. Taken low. Ball number 1. That's going to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Said Roberts with a great pick last night. Looking for his first hit in a Settler uniform. Grew up always wanting to play here in Lincoln County and took advantage of it when the offer was put on the table as he shoots one down the right side. That's going to go foul onto our field opposite of us. There were some youth games being played earlier today. Probably for the better, as we said, there's some rain in the forecast, so we'll keep you updated if that gets a little bit closer. We're supposed to have some rain for the next couple days. 1-2 from Crawl. Misses high outside. It's going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So after really cruising the first 3 hitters, Crawl laboring a little bit more. His first 5 pitches were strikes, and then Dylan Ott battled away with him. Crawl's throwing a few more pitches to the hitters. The 2-2. Swing and a miss from Roberts, and Crawl gets out of the jam unscathed as we head to the top of the second inning. Raiders lead 2-0. Getting back underway here in the top of the second inning. As Sparks makes his way to the mound, once again he misses high for a ball. It's going to be Vince Donato standing in the batter's box. Donato, a Highland Heights, Ohio native. He swings and misses for strike number 1. Donato goes to Youngstown State University. We went there this past season. So he stands in, swings and misses once again. It's going to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Sparks. Sliced too short, just out of the reach of shortstop Eddie Pena. It's going to fly into left field corralled by Dylan Otis. He throws it back in, so Donato gets down to the count 1 ball and 2 strikes and laces a ball to left field, and he's aboard with a single. It's going to bring up the 9-hitter Seamus Keneally. Keneally, the Lebanon, Ohio native, stands in, 6 feet tall, 180 pounds. He goes to Marietta College. He stands in with a runner aboard. Galion with runners on early on here after scoring 2 in the first. Pitch from Sparks. Bunt popped up, caught by Sparks, flips to first base, and he's out. Double play. A great play by the pitcher, Sparks, as he came off the mound, fielded his position, and flipped it to first base and doubles off the runner in Donato. So just like that, bases are empty here and 2 away in the top of the second.
I actually put on the bottom of the second.
That's going to flip the order over. We're going to go to the top of the order. His first pitch swung and missed. For strike number 1, that's Andrew Stone leading off. Stepping in the batter's box. The West Virginia State University product, one of 3 Yellow Jackets in the lineup today. His second pitch, fouled down the left field line. So 2 quick strikes here for Sparks after starting that double play. Off the bunt from Keneally, bunted it right back to Sparks. Doubled off the runner at first, so the 0-2. Swing and grounded towards short. That's Pena. Pena fields, fires across the diamond to Dill, and got the speedy Stone. And 1-2-3, unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Sparks. He escapes this second inning unscathed as we head to the bottom of the second. Graders lead 2-0. Back in Newark, Ohio at Don Edwards Park, Graders lead Licking County Settlers 2-0 here, just about to start the bottom of the second inning after an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. The top of the first after the leadoff runner got on. It was a double play off the popped-up bunt as Sparks flipped its first base. That's going to bring up Nathan Dill to lead it off, making his first appearance in a Settlers uniform, the Fort Collins, Colorado native. Steps in for the first pitch from Crawl. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Dill, the Butler University product. Swings and misses at his second pitch he sees. It's going to move the count to no balls and 2 strikes. One of 2 Butler University products here in the lineup. Obviously, Jacob Margroff also going to Butler. Butler finished 3rd in the Big East this year with a 34-20 overall record. They did lose the conference semifinals as that pitch fouled off to the right side. Count stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Lost in the conference semifinal tournament to Seton Hall. Dill not seeing a lot of action. He apparently broke his bat in that foul. It sounded a little off, but wasn't sure that he broke his bat, but indeed he did as he goes and gets fresh lumber. We saw action in 6 games this year, all coming off the bench. Hit 143, but in high school actually hit 535 1 year in high school. Unbelievable. His on-base percentage, 570. Yes, you heard that right, 570. So he's behind in this count. No balls and 2 strikes. Deal from Krall. Called strike 3. Rack him up one more time. That's 4 strikeouts for Krall, and we're only in the bottom of the 2nd inning as Dill goes down in 4 pitches. So he's retired. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Brendan Alice. Alice, the New Albany, Ohio native, goes to Northern Kentucky University. Alice did see action last night. His first pitch misses low in the dirt for ball number 1. Alice 0 for 4 last night with a pair of strikeouts and a pair of pop-ups. So he looks for his first hit in a Settler uniform. The 1-0. Tried to check his swing, but still called a strike by the home plate umpire. Krall with 4 strikeouts early on. A lot of strikeouts last night for the Settlers. They struck out 10 times. 8 of those coming from the starter, Michael Darrell Hicks, the 1-1 taken for a ball. To move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Alice this year for the Norse appeared in 31 games, started 14 of them. As he grounds that ball to shortstop, that's Jordan. Jordan fields and fires across the diamond to Donato for out number 2. Score that one 6-3 ground out. And there's 2 batters and 2 outs here for starting pitcher Eli Krall. It's going to bring up the catcher, Chad Harper. Harper, the Follinsby, West Virginia native. He goes to not West Virginia State, much like the other guys on the graders. He goes to West Liberty University, where he hit 257 this year with the Hilltoppers with a 349 on-base percentage. He makes his first start in a Licking County Settler uniform. The first pitch from Krall, low and in the dirt for ball number 1. Starting to get dark here at Don Edwards Stadium. Like we said, there's been some rain in the forecast. You might not be able to see it on your screen, but looks like the bullpen is near the tarp as they prepare for potential downpour. As pitch taken for a strike, that was a good curveball catching the outer half. To Harper, it's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike. Harper stands in that right-handed batter's box. 19 hits this year, 7 extra base hits as he takes for ball number 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Graders lead 2-0 after they scored 2 runs in the top of the first. Settlers trying to get on the scoring action earlier than last night. It's 2-1 grounded down the third base line. Might stay fair, but it rolls foul as Reimold touches it over the line. We're going to even the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harper started 24 games behind the plate for the Hilltoppers. He was a former all-first team, all West Virginia class AAA as a senior, hit .463 that year. He's going into his junior season at West Liberty. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Make that 5 strikeouts now for starting pitcher Eli Krall. And we head to the top of the third. Raiders lead 2-0. About to start at the top of the third, but as you can see, we are putting the tarps on the field. As we said, there is some weather in the area. It has not started raining yet. We do not have a timetable on when we will return, but definitely stay updated with our social media on when we will return to action. Hopefully this weather will pass us here soon. So if you're watching on our YouTube live stream, just know that we are going into a rain delay and we will return to action as soon as possible. Hopefully this rain passes us here in Newark fairly quickly. So thank you for tuning in, everybody on YouTube, but we are going into a rain delay, but make sure to keep updated with our social media pages and we'll get you guys that time when we will return.